and so I was trying to make some money for her to get some medicine or something like that. But then the call came in, at the job to say Paul Simon was looking for me. Man, I was so scared. I was dropping things because I didn't know what Paul Simon. Who the hell is Paul Simon? you know. And then my boss he keeps saying, yeah, Paul Simon from Jamaica, Queens, and I don't know where the Jamaica Queens, and they finally explained from Jamaica Queens, New York. He sang the
Yeah.
song Mother and Child Reunion, and I'm like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. He's from Jamaica. He's the Rasta. I expect like a guy from Jamaica.
Very
But
different than you found out. I know. And
yeah,
you
man,
played with him for
when I go to
over
the
35
studio, he was,
years, right?
pardon me,
You played with Paul Simon's band, went on tour for over 35 years. Is that right?
40 years this year.
Wow. Wow. Okay, so we got the
And I'm still
concert.
playing with him.
Yeah. So we got the concert on March 14th at the Halloran Center, downtown Memphis. You and the South African All-Stars. Tell us what the audience can expect.
Dancing, laughing. It's just gonna be just fun. We like to hang out with the audience and just show who we are, the music, how we celebrate. And of course, we're going to be joined by the young kids from school. I can't remember the name of the school. Who's going to be joining us to play a couple of songs with us on stage? Because this
Yeah,
is
the
always
Memphis
something
Jazz
that
Workshop. My understanding is you're going to be joined by the Memphis
yes,
Jazz Workshop.
yes, that's correct. Yes, yes,
That's
yes.
great. And let me ask you, so, if people, how would you describe the music that is going to be displayed? People know Paul Simon, but what's your music?
My music, I'm a solo bassist on my own rights. I write my own songs, and some of the musicians that I'm going to be playing with them, they have their own songs. So the music, it's South African music, maybe the music that people never heard before, but it's going to be very entertaining. And then we're mixing it up also with like jazz, South African jazz, and some smooth jazz, and I do some crazy bass stuff, and it's really hard to describe, but they should come for fun. It's going to be fun. That's all I can say.
Okay, well, listen,
It's going to be amazing.
Bakithi, we really appreciate you coming on the Action News 5 Digital Desk and talking about the concerts that's happening March 14th. Bakithi Kumalo and the South African All-Stars at the Halloran Center, right around the corner. Really appreciate your time. Congratulations on such a successful career and everything that you've been able to accomplish. And we look forward to seeing you March 14th, downtown Memphis. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So looking forward.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you
We
so
are
much.
as well, Bakithi. Thank you. Another live look at our High
You,
Five cameras. We go to break on this beautiful Thursday. Some clouds out there. We're back in 1 minute on Action News 5's Digital Desk. Bakithi, thank you very much.
oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. We're so looking forward, and the food. I cannot wait to eat
Yes,
Memphis food.
absolutely. The food's going to be great. You're going to love it. Take care now.
You
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. If you're like me, if you're like most Mid-Southerners, you are so happy there's no more snow and ice anywhere on the ground. I don't care if it rains. I don't care if it's 85 degrees already. It just isn't. We're just not dealing with any snow and ice. I don't know what the machine's working on has a mind of its own. But let's bring in Jalen Soucek on the Action News 5 Digital Desk to talk about some amazing events that really kind of help us usher in the spring season. Jalen, good morning.
Yes, I am the same sentiment with you. I'm over the cold weather, and it just feels amazing, which is great because we're going to be spending a lot of time outdoors this month.
I love it. I love it. And, you know, you're highlighting some of the prettiest areas in the city of Memphis. Let's go.
Yeah, so the first, I don't know if people are super aware of this, but 2026 is going to be just a really huge year for arts and culture in Memphis. We have a lot of really exciting openings. We have, Memphis Art Museum at the end of the year. The Metal Museum will be opening in the fall. Legacy Building at National Civil Rights Museum. And a lot of milestones. So I know the Memphis Youth Symphony was just on. It's a anniversary year for them as well. But one of the big anniversaries happening is the Dixon Gallery and Gardens. They are celebrating 50 years. And so if you've spent any time out in the gardens over the years, they are very known for their tulip display. This year, they are just dialing it up ×3. So they have planted 650,000 tulips that will be in bloom very, very soon. You'll get the early blooms if you go right now. But about mid to late March is when you're really going to see that kind of full display. And of course, the Dixon is also always free to visit. So just a really good time to go out, be outside and enjoy the gardens. The tulips are beautiful and it always changes every year.
I love the fact that it's still free for everybody because it is one of the prettiest, most colorful places in all of Memphis. In fact, the first time I ever visited, Jalen, Memphis, Tennessee, I was taken to the Dixon because it is so pretty. It's just such a gem.
That's a good hostess who took you there. And yeah, so it's free forever too. So that's great news.
Certainly is.
And then when you're at the Dixon, you have to go inside, of course. The galleries are also part of the free experience. Right now they have for an on exhibit, it's called Black Artists in America from the Bicentennial to September 11th. This is the third and final show in the series. And you can see from our video and a reel we just posted on Instagram last week or so. It is an incredible display. You can really get lost in this for hours. And it's going to be on display from now through March 29th. It features 50 works by different artists, including Ramir Bearden, Elizabeth Catlett, Ernie Barnes. He is the artist heavily featured on the show Good Times, if you're familiar with that. So it's just a really incredible display. And then they also have their other traditional collections on display as well. And then another piece to this is because they are celebrating the 50th anniversary, they have an interactive gallery. It's called Meet the Dixons. So it'll tell the story essentially of how the gardens came to be and the couple, which is Margaret and Hugo Dixon. But they're a little bit about their story. And that will be on display through May 31st.
I love it. It's just two great reasons to check out the Dixon, and I understand the Dixon's neighbor, if you will, is also going crazy this spring with some amazing events too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I encourage you to go to the Dixon multiple times and then stick around on that east corner because Memphis Botanic Garden is hosting Bloom. It's a million shades of spring. So there will be over 1 million blooms happening at the gardens between March and May. So this is going to kind of take you through a seasonal journey of blooms. So you'll begin, of course, with the cherry blossoms, to tulips, to azaleas and magnolias. And then they're going to be really dialing up the activity. So of course they want you to come visit the gardens during those different blooming times. But they're going to be doing Bloom Saturdays. This will be happening every week. It's an all ages kind of make a day of it experience. There will be a bunch of kid activities, food trucks, live performances, cultural celebrations, and a lot more. And then they also have some events for the adults. So this is the after hours Bloom Energy. So it's 21 and up only events. They're going to be doing mixology workshops, sip and strolls, flower arranging workshops, tulips at twilight, just a jam-packed calendar for the next 3 months happening at the Memphis Botanic Garden.
Yeah, Memphis Botanic Garden dials it up like 365 days a year. They have great stuff for the family and great stuff for adults as well. Gosh, Jalen, that Park and Cherry location in Memphis is going to be gorgeous.
It's going to be absolutely beautiful. So, I mean, between the both of them, I think it's just one of the outdoor destinations in the South.
No question. No question. I can't wait. So what else you got?
And right now, what just opened last week at the Memphis Brooks Museum of Art is the Memphis College of Art 1936 to 2020, an Enduring Legacy collection. So this is going to tell the 84-year history of the Memphis College of Art, which did, of course, close in 2020. So the exhibition will feature the work of 90 artists, that's faculty, administrators, and graduates of the school during that time. And these are many of these artists are artists that have gone on to have great success. They have collections and work in prominent museums, galleries, and collections nationwide. And as you can see from the video, there's just countless number of mediums of art, from photography, painting, ceramics, textiles, sculptures, printmaking, and more. So this will be on view through September 27th. And this is just kind of really important and sentimental, especially to Memphis. A lot of those artists are still working in our city, thankfully, and kind of can look at it as almost the closing chapter of the school now that the Metal Museum is making headway with their renovation of moving into that space in Overton Park.
Yeah, that was something that I think a lot of Memphians and Mid-Southerners were sad to see go. I mean, it had such a history and such a legacy in Memphis. And, I know there's another art school actually in East Memphis that's opened up and to try to fill the gap there. What else do you have going on in the I Love Memphis blog, Jalen?
Well, we have a lot. So we do have individual guides for the Dixon's 50th if you want to see more of those events, as well as the Memphis Botanic Gardens Bloom. So completely curated guides for that. In our other updates, we have a March events guide. It's 25 plus things to do all month long. And also, we just got our St. Patrick's Day guide live yesterday, and we will be continuing to add events because they'll really start getting announced this week. But it's already looking like it's going to be a really fun St. Patrick's Day. But we are heading into spring. We have our food and drink festivals guide. It's time to pack the calendar, so definitely use the blog to fill in those dates before you're on Saturday morning and you're like, what do I want to do? There's going to be a lot to do in the next upcoming months.
I love it. I love MemphisBlog.com. Jalen Suchek running it all for us. Joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Jalen, as always, you always bring it every time you come on the Digital Desk. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Throughout the month, we always like to check in with various neighbors, various leaders across the Mid-South. And today we are checking in with our friends in Bartlett, Tennessee. We got the Mayor, David Parsons, joining us as he does every month or so, just to kind of get an update on the city of Bartlett, the largest suburb in Shelby County. So, David, how are you this morning?
Doing great, Andrew. Sure can't complain about the weather.
I know. After all that snow and ice, hopefully that's gone for good. I know technically we're in winter, but man, it feels good to be at least feeling like summer with a high of, in the 70s and 80s. So tell us what's going on in Bartlett. I know you guys are busy in the month of March.
Yes, sir. Andrew, we start off tomorrow with our annual State of the City message. It's a time where, as the mayor speaks about reflecting back over the previous year and looking forward to the upcoming year. That's tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, March the 5th, at our BPAC, Bartlett Performing Arts and Conference Center, which is at 3663 Appling. And so that'd be a great event. It'd be kind of cast like it was last year with a Johnny Carson type theme, but with the 80s layered on top of that. So that's tomorrow night, and then we move to March the 9th, which is a die-cast toy show down at the Vineyard, which is at 5868 Stage Road. That's
Can I ask something about that, David? Because it says here that it's March 7th, Saturday. Is it March 7th or March 9th?
Hold on just a second. Let me verify that.
Because I got something that says Saturday, March 7th from 9 to 3.
I'm sorry, that's my fault, Andrew. It is on the 7th. I'm trying to speed us along too fast. And so that's from 9 to 3. And but it's pretty cool because you can see a lot of the old Hot Wheel toys and stuff like that. It's a good. It'd be kind of cool.
I love it. I love it. What else is happening?
Right after that, we follow through with Carlene Carter, which is the daughter of June Carter Cash. She sung songs like I Fell in Love, Every Little Thing, Me, and A Wild Rose. That's on March the 7th at BPAC also at 7:30. And then we follow up behind that with the Bartlett Business Expo, which is March the 12th, which is at the YMCA in Bartlett, which is at 7700 Flaherty Place. That's from 9 to 3. Bartlett Business Expo, you'll have all kind of vendors there, as you can see on the screen. Lots of stuff to do there, so come and get involved. Behind that, on March the 21st, we have the Bartlett Community Concert Band. It's an evening of Broadway tunes, and it also is at the BPAC. You can get tickets at bpac.org. And then, believe it or not, Easter's right around the corner, Andrew. We have the Easter Extravaganza on March the 28th. At 9 o'clock at Freeman Park. Freeman Park is at 2629 Bartlett Boulevard. And one of the cool things we do at the Easter Extravaganza is the Lions Club has beeping eggs for the visually impaired. That's always a little treat to watch them find the little beeping eggs that's out there. So that's pretty cool. And then March the 28th, we have the comedian Jeff Allen. Many of you seen him on a lot of the shows around here. He is sold out, but he is at 7:30. And then we take a peek into April, and we have the Bartlett Bayou Bash is back. That's April the 11th at Freeman Park from 11 to 7. Man, come down there. Some raging, caging, crawfish, and some music. It's always a good time at Freeman Park. And so, as always, you can stay up to date through our social media at bmbartlett.com. BEN Bartlett.com, and you can find out everything we just said and everything coming up.
I love it. I love it. It looks fantastic. You guys got a menu chock full of something for everybody, and I'm just glad spring's here. You know, we get to go outside again with the nice warm weather, David. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So there's plenty of things to say, plenty of places to be, plenty of places to go here in Bartlett, and just get out and enjoy this great weather, because we only have it, you know, just in Memphis. I always say, just stay tuned. Wait till tomorrow. It'll change for you.
Yeah, no question about it. All right, David Parsons joining us on the Action News 5 digital desk, the City of Bartlett Mayor. We always appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us here on the Action News 5 digital desk. I'm First Alert meteorologist Patrick Ellis. On this super 7-day forecast featuring a high on your Wednesday of 80 degrees. If you're a fan of warmer weather, you'll definitely enjoy today. But I do need to let you know we've got some opportunities for rain and storms coming back into the forecast. Latest SPC outlook still highlighting a marginal level 1 out of 5 risk. It's the lowest end risk across parts of the Mid-South, not the entire Mid-South, mainly for northeastern Arkansas, southern Missouri, northwestern Tennessee. But there could be a few showers and storms that are able to develop as we go into the afternoon hours out ahead of the main line. That will not cross the area, but it at least approaches the area. So a few spotty showers developing for the afternoon and evening commute. Afternoon temperatures upper 70s and lower 80s here through the afternoon hours of your Wednesday. Now, there could be a few storms that get a little bit more active right around sunset. You know, anecdotally, I've always said, you know, the hour or two around sunset and sunrise, we have a tendency to have a perk up in activity. So it wouldn't be surprising to see that again here this evening across parts of North Mississippi and West Tennessee. Midnight, couple showers. Most of the shower and thunderstorm activity in the severe mode would be out to the west of us, but it will start to ease in our direction through the morning hours on Thursday. Now, it does not, again, work its way all the way through the Action News 5 coverage area. The vast majority of the shower and thunderstorm activity stays in northeastern Arkansas, northwest Tennessee, and into southern Missouri, even into the morning hours on Thursday. The frontal boundary gets pushed back to the north, and it opens us back up to a very warm day heading into your Friday. We're talking high temperatures that will likely top out near record territory heading into your Friday afternoon. Temperatures in the record territory in the upper 70s and low 80s. We'll do that pretty much for everybody heading into Friday afternoon. Let's step forward because there are opportunities for more unsettled weather to come in our direction for the upcoming weekend. We'll time it out with our First Alert Futurecast for Saturday as a frontal boundary approaches the area. The same front that brings us the opportunities for a few showers and storms here today that gets pushed back. Well, guess what? It gets a shove eastward, and they'll bring us more opportunities for rain across the Mid-South as we head into Saturday, Saturday evening, Saturday night into early Sunday. The front sluggishly works its way down towards the south and east. And yes, with it, heavy rain, maybe a few strong storms not completely off of the table as this line moves on through. Now, that front will stall out, keeps the weather with some at least scattered showers during the overnight period of your Saturday going into your Sunday, where we will also spring forward at the very same time. As you'll notice here, our First Alert Futurecast showing the rain showers still hovering around the area near and south of I-40 through the morning hours on Sunday here. There is a good opportunity for us to see above average rainfall in that extended forecast here. And when you look at the 10 days ahead, yes, that front will fade away and we'll do the kind of the similar situation, more spotty opportunities for some showers and storms developing with highs in the upper 70s and lower 80s going Monday and Tuesday. The next best opportunity for rain and storms moves in here by Wednesday of next week. That will be another strong cold front pushing through the area. Behind said cold front, we'll see a drop in temperatures. This may be our best chances as of right now because of the transition from very warm temperatures to more marginally seasonable temperatures. Where we can see some stronger storms across the board. So we'll be watching that time frame closely. Also, very heavy rainfall that will likely come along with it as well. Between now and probably this 10-day forecast, we'll probably see between 2 to 4 inches of rainfall, which is much needed. Okay, we do need the rainfall, but in one fell swoop, it's going to be a problem if we end up with a couple pockets here where we get some heavy rain. 1 to 2 inches of rainfall with this system here, an additional 1 to 2 inches with this system coming in here by the time we head towards the mid portion next week. And yes, behind that system, we'll get back closer to average for this time of the year heading into the mid portion of the month.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm Andrew Douglas. It is 9:01 on a Wednesday, taking a live look outside from our High Five camera downtown Memphis. A very comfortable 66 degrees as you get going on this Wednesday morning. We'll be talking about the forecast throughout the morning here on Action News 5's Digital Desk. But first, I want to get to an interview that we are going to have right now. This is about the leadership and the direction of Memphis Public Libraries. Joining me on the Action News 5 Digital Desk, I am joined by Dr. Eric Harris. He has been appointed by Memphis Mayor Paul Young to be the next director of Memphis Public Libraries, and he is joining us on the Digital Desk to talk a little bit about that position, who he is, and the vision for the public libraries in the city of Memphis. Eric, it's nice to meet you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and our audience that we have. We have thousands of people who watch each and every morning. Tell us about yourself. Good morning.
Right. Hey, good morning to you. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I am Dr. Eric Harris. I'm a lifelong Memphian. I've put a lot of time here in this city. Only lived away when I went to college, and that was undergrad. So I'm really tickled to death to have the opportunity here to continue what it is that I've always wanted to do, and that is, help the literacy deficits, help the deficits of people knowing what really a Memphian is. We want to help the school system. We want to help everyone. So the library has a lot of opportunity to do that. Sorry.
Gotcha. So you've been appointed. Have you started working, or is this something that you have to wait for the Memphis City Council to formally approve? How's that work?
Actually, yeah, the council, they approved it on February the 22nd. I am here in my office now. I've been working diligently since then. It's been a grind because there is a lot of work to do here. The previous director, Keenan McCloy, she left a lot of things, a lot of great projects that have to be overseen. So it's been really, really fun. The people in the library have been great. Everyone's very passionate. You don't have to worry about motivation whatsoever. And I've absolutely enjoyed every moment I've been here.
So tell me about your vision for the Memphis Public Libraries. Where do you see it going? Where would you like to see it going? Do you have any personal goals and objectives that you would like to see the library, and short-term, long-term goals, that sort of thing?
Yeah, that's the great thing about this position that I'm in now. The library is such a great, well-oiled machine. People may not know that just a few years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, the library won the national award as the most innovative library in the country. So there was a lot of things already in place. There's a lot of capital improvement projects. We've got new libraries coming online. There's one in Fraser, one in Raleigh soon. Southwest Twin is coming up. So it's a matter of continuing that work, but then also taking the library to the next level. Because even though we had over 200,000 items that were checked out of libraries last year, we had about 25,000 people that participated in library programs. There's still some work that could be done, and there are still some demographics that could be improved. For example, our Mayor Paul Young and also our Superintendent Rod Richmond both point at teenagers saying, hey, we need to give you more things to do after school. Well, it's ironic that that is the one demographic in the library system that the numbers are also a little bit lower than what would be optimal. So we want to, again, continue that work and take everything to the next level.
Let me ask you about that, Eric, because, if you think about the library over the last, 10, 20, maybe even longer than that, the library has really undergone a transformation digitally. I mean, gone are, the decimal Dewey system, I think it's called. It's so far
Dewey
away.
Decimal.
Exactly.
Yeah, Dewey Decimal.
And so here we are. We're in a digital age where a lot of people just log into their own prospective libraries to either check out books online, do a lot of things digitally. How is that going to change and transform the library for the next generation of kids?
That's one thing I have to give credit to my predecessor, Keenan McCoy. She really saw that coming. So she implemented a lot of community outreach pieces, a lot of digital pieces. The library has a great app called Libby where you can access over 50,000 ebooks and e-audio books there. You can get your library card online now. A lot of the programs are available online, and that's all credit to Keenan for doing that. So it's a matter of basically having that to step up to the next level, because as you know, as broadband gets faster, we have to be able to keep up with that, and be able to provide all the programming and all the type of needs and resources that people will want. So basically, it's a matter of keeping up with the times for the library.
So let's say 10 years from now, where would you like to see the library?
Oh, wow. The way it's going in the digital age, libraries may be floating and hovering over the ground or something, who knows? But I just like to see the library being a common place for every single home in the Memphis area, to where if there's a need, that people go to the library first. If there's some advice or some sort of resources that's needed, people know how to get it through the library. Because one thing that the library is really good at is facilitating people. We have a Link 211 service, which is really, really great. People can call and get information on absolutely anything. For example, during the ice storm, I don't know if the media has come up with a cute name for the ice storm that we had. I haven't heard it. But during that storm, there were a lot of people that called Link 211 because they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what the weather was. They had to go get a dialysis treatment and they didn't have transportation. Link 211 was able to connect them with MATA or the police or anyone that they would absolutely need. And I was really, really pleased to hear that mechanism being in place. So I just want the library to continue to grow and be a part of every family.
Final question before we let you go, Eric. You know, there's a lot. I'll just bring up the fact that teenagers, everybody has a smartphone device, and a lot of them will go to, the AI of their choice to look up anything that you would have to go to a library in generations past in order to look up. And so everything seems to be on the phone. How do you connect and have that relevancy to today's kids?
Yeah, thank you for that question. AI is here. It's nothing that can be avoided. You have to understand your organization and how to best implement it. AI is really good for connecting the person with the resource really fast. So having a mechanism like that is great. But what people have to remember is AI is really good at spitting facts and information, but AI cannot tell stories. It can't trigger sentiments and emotions that you would get from reading a good book or talking to someone who's very passionate about something. So those are the things that AI does not have. Whether it'll have it, 10, 20 years from now, who knows? But those are the things that the library is able to provide through our human services. So we're fine with AI connecting it to a resource that we have. But if people really want to get the lowdown on it, they're going to have to talk to one of our fabulous librarians.
Dr. Eric Harris, Director of Memphis Public Libraries, joining us on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We really appreciate the breakdown, some of your goals and objectives, and the difference between the library of today and what it used to be. We wish you all the best and much success in the future, Eric. And please come back on the Action News 5 Digital Desk anytime you want to tell us about something new that's happening at the library. We appreciate your time. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Well, there is a really cool concert that's happening this weekend. In fact, it's happening on Sunday, March 8th at the Scheid Family Performing Arts Center. The Memphis Youth Symphony program spring concerts. And joining me on the Action News 5 digital desk, I am joined by the executive director, Jenny Davis, right now on the digital desk. Jenny, good morning to you. So tell me, for our audience out there, we have thousands of people who watch each and every morning. Tell them what the Memphis Youth Symphony program is, how long it's been in existence, and the events this weekend. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for inviting me on. The Memphis Youth Symphony program has actually been around for almost 60 years. We're coming up on our 60th next season. And it's a program for youth musicians, high school and younger. We have students from all different levels and ages. And this weekend, they are performing on a concert, as you mentioned, at the Scheidt Family Performing Arts Center. We've got 3 concerts happening at 1 o'clock, 3:30, and 7:30. So it's a great way to kind of see the scope and breadth of the student musicians that we have.
I love this. I love it. Everyone really can get behind something like this when you have these young adults, I get children all the way up to young adults here performing in Memphis, being a part of such an amazing concert. And it looks like there's different performances for everybody to get involved in. Tell me about some of the reactions when people come to the concerts, Jenny.
I think it kind of cut out there. I couldn't quite hear the last bit of that. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I was just asking, some of the reactions from people when they come out and see the concerts and see these young people perform so well.
Yeah, so I think just about every time people are, very surprised at the incredibly high level of the students. But beyond that, I think it's just really inspiring to see young people, a bunch of young people on stage together making music. So it's a great musical experience, and it's just really, inspiring and heartwarming to see such collaboration among young people. So I really recommend coming out and hearing one of the concerts, or all of them.
Yeah, fantastic. So tell me, is it comprised of kids all across the region? Is it a certain amount of kids? What are the age? You mentioned off the top there's certain ages that are involved. And how many kids are involved?
We have about 350 students in the program, and they range from, I think our youngest student right now is age 7 up through 18. And they come from all over the Mid-South. I think there's about 80 different schools represented in the MYSP, and that's public, private, homeschool, charter school. So it's a really great way for people to come together around music.
I love it. I love it. It's something that's so great, and so many kids get involved in musical instruments, and it really helps the brain develop in so many great ways. What else can we talk about with regards to these concerts that are happening on Sunday?
One extra special thing that's happening is our 7:30 concert is actually our annual side-by-side with the Memphis Symphony Orchestra. So this is an opportunity for our youth symphony, our most advanced orchestra, to play side-by-side with musicians of the MSO. So you can come at 7:30 and hear both the Memphis Symphony and the Memphis Youth Symphony together. And they've got a great program featuring Holst's The Planets, which if you don't know that you've probably heard it. It's a really great piece. So it's a great concert to come out to.
That is fantastic. They get a chance to play side by side with the Memphis Symphony Orchestra. What an amazing concert. So let's talk about tickets, how people can check it out. And is it already sold out? Are there tickets available, Jenny?
There are tickets available, and you can get your tickets at myspmusic.org. It's our website, and they're $15. So come on out, and that ticket actually gets you admission not only to that concert, the side-by-side, but also the other 2 concerts that day. So
fantastic. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's make sure that our audience knows this is the Memphis Youth Symphony program and the Youth Symphony Orchestra spring concert Sunday, March 8th, 1 o'clock, 3:30, and 7:30. That includes that 7:30 concert side by side with the Memphis Symphony Orchestra. What an amazing event there. Tickets just $15. Wow, that sounds great, Jenny. Congratulations. This sounds fantastic. Anything else before we let you go?
I don't think so. Check out the website and learn about the program. There's been so many alumni that musicians in Memphis you've probably heard, and they probably spent some time in the Memphis Youth Symphony at some point or another.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Jenny Davis, Executive Director of the Memphis Youth Symphony Orchestra. We appreciate your time on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Have a great time this weekend. We look forward to getting updates from you throughout the year. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We always love checking in with our friends, our mayors in the Mid-South, across the Mid-South, across Shelby County. And I'm joined on the Action News 5 Digital Desk by Collierville's Mayor, Maureen Frazier, joining us once again. Maureen, it has been a long time. It's good to see you. How are things?
Everything is great, Andrew. It has been a long time. I think the last time we met was back at the end of November. I think the holidays and the ice just got in the way. But spring is almost here.
Thank God for that. That snow and ice was brutal. I don't even want to think about that. It was a mess
really
for
was.
everybody.
I agree.
Yeah. Okay, so got a few things to talk about here. Let's begin with the first Safe Haven baby box throughout Shelby County is in the town of Collierville. Tell me how this all came about.
Yes, it is. It was put in our new fire stations. It was part of the plan from the very, very beginning. And there was a nonprofit group that did the fundraising for that. And it opened in our fire station number 6. And it's a box for any mother that may be in crisis. And it's a safe place to put their baby if something's going on in their life. And it will definitely be taken care of. And it's monitored at the fire station 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Fantastic. We've covered that a lot and talked about that a lot, and hopefully there'll be more opportunities to see more of these Safe Haven baby boxes across Shelby County. Atlanta Rhythm Section is coming to Collierville. Tell me more.
Yes, we have a music series in Collierville now at our Harold Theater, and the Atlanta Rhythm Section is coming next week, Thursday night, March the 5th. You need to go online and get your tickets, colliervilletn.gov, and then it's under Harold Live. And I know the tickets are selling, but there's still tickets available as of this morning. So it's a great series. We've had 2 shows already. There was one last weekend. And it was amazing to see the wide variety of ages, residents, non-residents come together to enjoy some live music in our town. And several of myself and our friends, we went out to dinner before. So it was a great night out in Collierville. So I would invite you to come next Thursday, March the 5th.
Fantastic. Okay, Thursday, March the 5th. And then the town's website has the whole schedule, right?
It sure does. And there is a link under Harold Live. Yes.
Perfect. Okay. Tell me about the plans for America 250. We know that there's going to be plans across the country. Can you reveal any for Collierville?
We are doing a kickoff of our America 250 at the Collierville Chamber Luncheon. That would be on Wednesday, March the 11th. And I get to be like the hostess with the mostess. And we're going to have different department heads come and speak and talk about. We're having Art Nicole, the director of the Morton Museum, talk about the past, what has happened in Collierville in the past. Then we're going to talk about the present and what we're planning in the future. So it'll culminate on the Independence Day celebration, but it should be a great event at the Collierville Chamber, and we'll be kicking off that on Wednesday, March the 11th.
Okay. All right. Good to know. I understand that there's some condos that are going in near the town square there. Tell me more.
Yes, we approved Monday night a preliminary site plan for a development by Macklemore Builders. And what they're planning to do is the location where the Gus's Fried Chicken used to be. It's been vacant. They had to get a certificate of appropriateness to demolish the Gus's Chicken because it was a house that was many, many, many years old. So that is being torn down, and then they're going to be building a 3-story. The first story will be retail. So I believe Macklemore Real Estate and Builders will go in the first floor along with 2 other bays, and then there'll be 2 floors of 1 and 2 bedroom owner-occupied condominiums. So they're adding some parking on Center Street. They're adding gated parking for the residents, and then there will be parking for those in the retail center. So they have a few more steps to go, but that is what is being planned right there where the old Gus's Chicken was.
Gotcha, gotcha. You know, I know there's been a lot of talk about adding a parking garage and adding a hotel in the town square area. Has that come to fruition, or has that been voted down or up? What's the latest?
We haven't voted on a hotel or a parking garage at this time. The hotel is still, the property owner is still talking. I met with them a couple weeks ago. They're still getting their numbers and they're trying to get their financing together. So that could happen, but we have not seen anything official to vote on. The parking garage is no longer a plan within that hotel proper. However, if at some point the town needs a parking garage, we have space for that behind, across from Lost Pizza and behind Maeve's and that section of the square. But there's no finances, no money, no plans for that at this time.
Okay. Okay, good to know. Thank you for that. I know something that's been in the works for quite a while is the library expanding. Tell me more.
We are still doing fundraising for the library. So if anybody's listening and would love to make a donation, we would definitely accept it. It's looking like we're going out for bid soon, very soon. We approved the architecture contract, the final changes. We're hoping to be breaking ground at the end of April of this year. So the plans will be going out to bid. We need some competitive bidders, and then we can break ground, and hopefully in the next 2 years we'll have an expansion to our library. So it is happening. It's been a long road, and now you just have to cross your fingers that we have some competitive bids that fit within our budget. But we are looking for people who want to have some naming rights, who want to invest in the future of the Collierville Library. So lots of different options.
Yeah.
You know, you can make any donation, but you can go into the millions if you'd like.
Right. That's exciting, though. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. Finally, any new businesses that you'd like to talk about? Anything else that's happening in the town, Maureen?
If you go down Poplar Avenue, you will see a beautiful development that's happening in Schilling Farms, and it's in 2 additional retail buildings. And then at the end is a Town Place Suites hotel. That has not opened yet. I'm hearing April for the hotel, but I don't know that for sure. The retail buildings, there were lights on last night when I drove by. But that complex, I don't really know yet. We don't know what's going in there until they actually have a business that signs a lease, and then they come to the town for the permits on the build out and the signage. So other than the Town Place Suites, I don't really have any idea of what may be going into the Schilling Farms development. I know down in Carriage Crossing, they had a contest, and they have 5 new pop-up shops that will be opening, and those business owners get a year of free rent. And then I know Mike's Hot Wings is coming in down close to the Courtyard by Marriott Hotel. And I know they're working hard to get the renovations going on that so they can open as quickly as possible. But they're moving from the Germantown medical area to Carriage Crossing.
Gotcha. So much information that we talked about here when it comes to the town of Collierville. We appreciate your time, Maureen, as always, on the Action News 5 digital desk. And I look forward to the next time we talk, because you always come in with chock full loads of information for everybody. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Andrew.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We are so looking forward to spring, at least I am, and one of the ways we can get involved in spring is to check out various exhibits, and one is upcoming at Memphis Botanic Garden, and to talk more about that, we have Jenna Harris on the line here, Memphis Botanic Garden, and it is called Bloom. And Jenna, I can't wait to hear about it. I don't know what I want more. Do I want spring more, or do I want to go to Bloom more? Good morning.
I think we all want a little bit of both. You know, we're
Oh,
ready
yeah.
for that spring. We got a little taste of it, and going back to this cold, not what we need.
No question about it. So I remember talking to Olivia a short time ago about this Bloom exhibit. And remind me, is this the first time it's ever been at Botanic Garden?
You know, well, so it's interesting. This is the first time that we are going to really celebrate all of that together as one. Of course, we're the Botanic Garden. We bloom every year. Some years when you come in the spring, you'll see some fun exhibits. If you were here last year, you saw the trolls. If you came and saw the Alice exhibit, the origami. So we'll bring in different exhibits to kind of highlight and enhance the garden. And this year, we're just going to let the garden speak for itself with some help from our horticulture team. We've been able to really enhance what we have here, our plantings at the garden. And we're going to celebrate all things bloom. So the month of March, we're going to celebrate our cherry blossoms. Everybody's familiar with Cherry Road. You know, you drive down and you feel like you're driving through clouds of cherry trees when those are in full bloom. And we have those in our Japanese garden as well. So that'll be our celebration for March. For April, we've planted over 400,000 tulips. So the Dixon is celebrating their 50th anniversary. They've planted a lot of tulips as well. So between the two gardens, there'll be 1 million tulips at Park and Cherry. So that is just going to be a spectacular month. And, you know, we hope that the tulips bloom on time for our schedule, but they might come a little earlier. But again, you know, we're going to be celebrating blooms this whole time, and then we'll roll right into May and we'll celebrate some of our southern favorites, the magnolia trees, the azaleas, the rose garden peaks in May. So we'll really just be able to celebrate all things bloom and everything that happens in the spring at a garden.
That sounds amazing. I'm so looking forward to spring this year. I think it was because all the snow and ice in January just lingered and went on and on and on. And not to mention that it was pretty cold this morning getting up. I'm like, when are we getting to spring already? So, Jenna, let's talk about ways that people can really get into bloom, what they can do. I guess, you know, we can just show up March 1st, March 2nd. We just show up there at Cherry and Park?
Yeah, you know, so it's always nice to come out and see the garden kind of as things begin to bloom and as things transition. You know, right now we've already seen some of our blooms with our daffodils and the okami cherry trees, which are the darker pink trees that we have on our property. Those are already starting to bloom out. But we're really going to highlight all of these things on Bloom Saturdays. So every Saturday from March through the end of May, we'll have different celebrations. We'll have food trucks out here. There'll be cocktail bars. You'll be able to come through. And we're working with a lot of different cultural partners. The University of Memphis, Playhouse on the Square, Ballet Memphis, the Symphony. And we'll have different programs every Saturday throughout this whole spring exhibit. You know, so you'll get to see things like the ballet performing amongst the blooms. You'll get to see, learn about Japanese culture with the University of Memphis Japanese language program. And every Saturday is going to be a little bit different. So, you know, if you want to come and learn about a tea ceremony, that's going to be the second Saturday of March for us. You know, you can come in April, and we'll have the Easter Bunny here on the Saturday before Easter, along with Craig Thompson, who's a local chalk artist, doing all kinds of fun spring activities with kids. So, you know, you can come through, explore, and enjoy the blooms, but there's going to be ways to engage with the garden as well.
It sounds great. I mean, your programming of 365 days of the year really sounds fantastic, Jenna. Anything else we can touch on, perhaps the website where people can get information about Bloom?
Yeah, for all of our programs, all of the different programs that we're having, you'll go to membg.org and you can go to the Bloom link. That'll give you all the information about all of these Saturday activities, in addition to all of the other programming that we'll have. We'll have all kinds of special events throughout the season, from our plant sale to a petals and parasols, which is kind of a Regency era tea that we'll have. So there's all kinds of different events and programs, and make sure you check those out. Some of the different cultural partners, because we're working with so many different groups, most of them will be at 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock on those Bloom Saturdays, but make sure you check our social media. That'll give you the exact details of what time the different cultural partners will be participating and performing at the events. And the food trucks and the cocktails, that'll be here and available during our opening time between 10 o'clock and 4 o'clock. The garden is, again, open to explore. Come enjoy the blooms, then go enjoy my big backyard and play with the kids. And just come out. You can come out multiple times throughout the season, and you're always going to see something a little bit different.
One of the prettiest places throughout Memphis and the Mid-South, the Memphis Botanic Garden. We appreciate your time, Jenna. Thank you so much, and we look forward to checking out all the blooms throughout the garden, the Dixon, throughout March, April, and May. Appreciate your time.
All right, we can't wait to see.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I have an incredible 11-year-old boy who is here in the Mid-South, and what he has done when most kids are playing sports or video games or on their computers doing whatever, he is leading and has organized a community-led effort, a pantry initiative to support families and people with food insecurity all across Memphis and the Mid-South. I'm joined on the Action News 5 Digital Desk by Jack Knight. He is here to talk more about his initiative and this idea that came about. Jack, good morning to you. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. So tell me how this initiative began. What was the catalyst that really started you thinking about creating a community initiative?
So at my school, there was 2 JKers that were only eating a part of their lunch. And so my dad's a substitute teacher, and my dad asked them, "Why aren't you eating all of your lunch?" So they told him, "So we can have something to eat at dinner." And that really made me sad, so I started helping them.
What school do you go to, Jack?
I go to St. George's Independent School.
Okay. And so you saw this, you talk with your dad, you're saying, wait a second, this doesn't seem right. Then what happened?
So we started looking for ways to help, and we thought of this little nonprofit where we set up. So I'm a big reader, so I know about Little Free Library, where you can take a book or leave a book. So I thought, why couldn't we do that idea, but with food?
Excellent. So tell me exactly what we're looking at here, because I want to show people this.
So I didn't start time-lapsing until we were almost finished, but that's me and my dad making sure the doors are on correctly and setting up the shelves for our first pantry. now that pantry is at the Mercantile off Main.
Okay, and you have multiple pantries up.
No, right now we only have one pantry,
Okay.
but we have 15 sites committed, and we hope to have 4 to 5 more in the next couple weeks.
Wow, okay, 15 sites. So what you're going to do is, in the idea of those library kind of cabinets where people can share a book and get a book and then return it, you're creating a cabinet where people can go and get food if they need it all across the area. Is that right?
Yes, sir, that's the general idea. But the reasoning that we called it Help Memphis and not something like Feed Memphis is because we're partnering with some preschool that would prefer diapers or baby wipes. And we might put school supplies near August or coats in the winter. So it's more adaptable.
I love that. I love that. So it's not just food, it's other things. It's other necessities that so many families who are in need certainly need in throughout the year, winter months and beyond. So you have 15 locations that are committed right now to one of these boxes. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and where are these locations? Just in different parts of the Memphis community or beyond? Where?
Well, it's Memphis and mainly Germantown and Cairo.
Okay, all right, great. And so I know that there's going to be a lot of people watching this. They're going to try and figure out maybe ways that they can get involved or tell others. What's the best method to reach out and say, hey, I want to be a part of this?
So right now, the best way is to go to helpmemphis.com or to go to the Mercantile off Main and give a few non-perishable goods, preferably cans.
Okay, great. Helpmemphis.com. Look at Jack Knight here making changes and making a real impact across Memphis and the Mid-South. Jack, we really appreciate you coming on the Digital Desk. Thank you so much and for letting us know about this great initiative that you are doing right now for our community. And good luck in 2026 and beyond.
Thank you so much for having me.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Let's talk about cholesterol for a minute. We hear about good levels of cholesterol, bad levels of cholesterol. We hear about good and bad cholesterol. Let's bring in someone to decipher what all this means and how we can lead the best healthy life possible. I'm joined right now by Dr. Anna Yang with Regional One Health. Dr. Yang, again, thank you so much for joining us on the Digital Desk. So we hear so much about good and bad cholesterol. Tell us about these two types and how we should deal with them both. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Thanks again for having me. So yes, cholesterol can be a little bit difficult to understand. So cholesterol is something that everybody has in their body and everybody needs to have in their body. It's really important for a lot of your body's functions, making cells and some vitamins and different things. So everybody has to have cholesterol. So where cholesterol becomes a problem is when there's too much of it. So when you go to your doctor and you get your cholesterol levels tested, you usually get a whole slew of numbers called the lipid panel. And so on this lipid panel, you might find things like total cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, HDL cholesterol, and triglycerides. So what you hear about when people say bad cholesterol is they're generally referring to that LDL. Or the low density lipoprotein. And this is a type of cholesterol. And these are the bad cholesterols because they're responsible for narrowing your blood vessels. They're the ones that if people say, you know, oh, you've got too much cholesterol in your arteries and they're clogging your blood flow and, you know, you're at risk for certain things like, you know, heart disease or strokes. That's what they're talking about is that LDL. Now, on the flip side, the HDL you actually want more of. So the HDL is, you know, quote unquote, that good cholesterol. And the good thing about the HDL is it actually helps you remove the unwanted cholesterols from your body. So it brings cholesterol back to the liver is one of the things that it does to remove some of the cholesterols that you don't want to build up. So that's what makes it, you know, quote unquote, the good cholesterol.
So let me ask you, because I know that these numbers have changed over time. You know, there have been numbers where, you know, the bad cholesterol or the overall cholesterol can't exceed 200, and now that number's been reduced. Tell me where we are on the proper levels. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it right.
Sure. So the most important numbers are really the LDL and the HDL. That total cholesterol number doesn't matter as much as those two, and the ratio of how much LDL versus non-LDL cholesterol that you have. The main non-LDL cholesterol is HDL, but there are other non-LDL cholesterols out there too. So the LDL cholesterol, we would like that number lower. So ideally under 100. Now, certain people who already have some medical conditions may want that number even lower, you know, potentially even, you know, less than 80 or 70, depending on you know, other factors. But in general, LDL under 100 is the goal. The HDL, on the other hand, you want higher. So greater than 40 or 60 or, you know, higher numbers are a good thing for HDL.
Okay, so I'm just thinking about my panels when I get blood work done. Sometimes they were like, okay, you got to keep your cholesterol levels under 200. Are they factoring in HDL and LDL with that?
So generally with that 200 number, they're talking about the total cholesterol number, which matters as well. But truly the LDL is the more important one that you want lower.
Okay. And what about lipoprotein little a? Because that is something that more and more people are talking about. And I'm just wondering if that is a big concern when it comes to heart disease.
Yeah, so it's a different number now that people are using to measure, and it does seem to correlate with risk factors for things like heart disease. So even though that number isn't traditionally in your typical lipid panel, sometimes doctors, again, depending on your risk factors and what other medical conditions you have, are ordering this test too as another way to measure the cholesterol levels and your risk and whether or not you need to be on potentially medication to lower your cholesterol.
Okay, and what are some of the best ways to improve our cholesterol numbers?
So non-medication wise, diet is really where you really need to monitor for your cholesterol. So the majority of the cholesterol that your body needs is already being made by your liver. So you really don't need extra cholesterol. And you get cholesterol from animal products. So these are things like meat or dairy or eggs. So you want to decrease the amount of saturated fat that you're eating. These will contribute to your LDL going up. So saturated fats, especially things that you find in these animal products. But you want to increase instead the diet of good good fats. So these are your unsaturated fats. These include things like avocado fats, fats that you get from nuts or seeds or fish. So changing the ratio of where you get fat from your diet will make a big difference. For those who are overweight, even losing just 5 to 10 pounds can make a pretty good difference on your cholesterol numbers. The other thing is increasing fiber, increasing your soluble fiber intake, decreasing your overall calories. These also make a good difference with your cholesterol as well, raising the HDL and lowering the LDL.
What's the most important thing you want people to remember when it comes to cholesterol, your numbers, how to bring it down, everything that we talked about?
So the first step is to check. So the first step is to make sure you go to your doctor and you get appropriate screening. Sometimes these aren't things that you feel. Sometimes people with normal weights have elevated cholesterol without knowing it. It's not always just something you get when you're overweight or obese. So make sure you go to your doctor. We even recommend children now get screened for cholesterol because we're seeing that even children are having problems with high cholesterol. So the first step is just to make sure you go to your doctor, get screened at appropriate intervals, do what you can, to improve your own habits in your daily life. And if necessary, potentially starting medication as prescribed by your doctor to lower your risk, for heart disease, strokes, and even losing your arms or legs because you don't have good blood flow to these parts of your body.
Thanks for joining us here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. First Alert meteorologist Patrick Ellis. Here's a look at your super 7-day forecast. Still got a chance for a few isolated showers as we go through the course of the day today. Here's a look at our First Alert Futurecast. Still, again, some spotty opportunities throughout the course of the day. A lot of clouds, but occasionally some sun breaks will come along with it, with temperatures up into the 70s, approaching 80 in a few spots as we head through the latter portion of the day. Any showers and storms that are able to bubble up here today will tend to fade away after sunset tonight. We should be in good shape for tomorrow outside of a spotty downpour, a warm and breezy day. High temperatures will top out in the lower 80s. And yes, that will be near record warmth here across the board. Near records in Oxford, Mississippi, breaking records in West Memphis, Covington, and Dyersburg, even here in the city of Memphis with variably cloudy skies. The big impact comes in here as we head towards your Saturday. Let's talk about what to expect because it will be a storm system that will be approaching the Mid-South as we head into the early morning hours of your Saturday. Speaking to that, again, we're looking at the potential for rain and storms, some of that heavy, and not to mention, yes, the potential for a strong storm or two. A marginal level 1 out of 5 risk has been issued by the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma, meaning that we could see a few isolated cells that could flare up that could have some strong winds and hail. That coupled with very heavy rainfall, it's a level 1 out of 4 risk, a marginal risk for low-lying poor drainage flooding. So let's go back and time that out with our First Alert Futurecast, and you'll notice a couple of things here as we run through the course of the day on Saturday. The first wave of rain and storms will begin to drop in as we head through the morning hours. This latest run of the forecast model is a little bit later, but still falls within the timeline here as far as heavy rain and storm potential is concerned through the mid and latter half of the morning hours, come shooting through the Mid-South as we head through the early afternoon. Now, the bulk of the shower and thunderstorm activity should be done by mid-afternoon on Saturday, but we're still dealing with rain behind it. So again, any strong or severe thunderstorms will be done by mid-afternoon. The rain, though, lingers into the overnight period of your Saturday heading into early Sunday. That system itself does start to shift off towards the south and towards the east, but it does hang up nearby. That means for us some lingering shower impacts as we head through parts of your day on Sunday, primarily along into the south of I-40. Farther north, we might get into sunshine a little earlier, places like Dyersburg and Hayti, but the clouds may be a little bit more dominant from Memphis southward down towards Oxford and Clarksdale, Mississippi. There is a chance for some afternoon and evening showers and storms that could develop as we head through your Monday, timing it out with your First Alert Futurecast. This is 10 o'clock in the morning, just clouds, an isolated shower. Here we go with the clouds and rain chances increasing during the afternoon and evening. A few of these could be a bit heavy as we head through the early evening hours. That will tend to fade away again after sunset, heading into Monday evening into early Tuesday. Still some spotty opportunities for a shower or thunderstorm coming up on Tuesday of next week. Starting off in the 60s on our way up to near 80 degrees. Some spots could be a little bit warmer than that on Tuesday afternoon. And notice this is our baseline to start off on Wednesday morning, which will work our way back into the 70s as we have a chance for rain and storms coming back in here. The thing is about this, it'll all be highly dependent on the timing. But at any rate, this is a clash between a much warmer air mass and a cooler air mass back to the north and west. That clashing of the air masses means that something's going to give. You know, usually when we talk about severe weather this time of the year, and especially when we have a big run up in temperatures that's above average, we have to have that conversation of strong and severe storms. This may be the kicking front that will clear the board out of a very messy pattern, but this will also probably have the potential for a few stronger elements up and down this line. And look at the time frame here. We're looking at the latter half of Wednesday that could have the impacts. That will clear out of here by the time we head towards your Thursday, and we'll start improving the situation at least for a couple of days. But the overall reaching impact is above average rainfall as we head through that time frame. And so when you look at that extended forecast behind that system, we are looking at a brighter look, a cooler look, 50s to near 60 come Thursday, and a rebound in temperatures back through the 60s, closing in on 70 in a few spots by next weekend. So the mid portion of the month still a bit active as we head through it, and there will be some periods of time where rain and storms will have impact on the Mid-South. Stay weather aware. We'll keep you advised.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Have you seen St. Denis Medical? It airs Monday nights at 8 o'clock on NBC. And this is a mockumentary about an underfunded, understaffed Oregon hospital where the dedicated doctors and nurses try their best to treat patients while maintaining their own sanity. Joining me now on the Action News 5 Digital Desk, I am joined by a couple of actors on the show. You know them as Serena and Matt. I'm joined by let's see, we got May Key Leeper and Kyun Kim. Good morning to you both. Tell us, how are you both doing this morning?
Doing really well.
Doing really good.
Yeah, happy to be here at the Digital Desk.
Yes, I love it. I feel the same way. I'm happy you guys are here on the Digital Desk too. So you guys are entering season 3 here. For someone, and I gave a little brief introduction off the top, but for someone who's never seen St. Denis Medical, how would you describe it?
Very good show.
Very good show. Truly the fastest way is The Office, but in a hospital. This is the crude fast way. But yeah, it's a really fun show about doctors and nurses that is not scary and stressful to watch. It's fun and it's light, and we're having a blast.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned The Office, and so what I understand, it's from the creators of The Office and Parks and Rec, right?
Yeah, it's from some of the same producers, some of the same writers. Justin Spitzer, of course, creator of Superstore and Office writer. Actually wrote on Scrubs even back in the day. Spitzer's been around.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are cute. I love it. You guys are funny, and you're selling it. So I appreciate it. For someone who's never watched and maybe they just don't have time, or it's like Mondays at 8 o'clock, I'm doing this and that, and all that. What would you say to them? How would you compel them to go ahead and check you guys out on season 3?
Make the time.
Yeah, yeah. What do you guys?
Yeah. At 8.
Yeah.
Like,
what are you watching, Monday Night Football or something? Like, whoa, I'm actually getting word a lot of Americans are watching Monday Night Football. But if you're not, check out the show. Yeah, I listen, it's really fun. We're going into the 3rd season. We do 18 episodes a season, so if you wanna binge a bunch on Peacock, we have a ton of episodes already.
and it's good.
And it's really good.
And funny.
It's a blast. We're looking into the camera. It's a classic mockumentary situation. It's just like this. You're gonna love it.
I'm enjoying this. So listen, so let me talk about a little bit, so many people are wondering how, when they see you on TV, it's like, how did this person get their start? I mean, like, can you guys go briefly into your background? Kyun, you start.
Well, long story short, born and raised in Korea, came to the States, went to Juilliard, said, I want to be an actor. Came to LA, and here I am, living the American dream.
And that's actually exactly what happened to me also. That's so crazy.
It was right next to me.
I was there the whole time.
Yeah.
No, I was a stand-up comedian, and then I was a TV writer after that. And then one time I was writing on a show, Jury Duty, and they were like, maybe you could act on the show. And then I started acting more after that, and I don't know, somehow accidentally I'm here. Whoops.
Awesome. I love it. You guys are fun. So. Listen, let me ask you something, because a lot of times when you think about a project and you go into it, you know, you're excited and you have different thoughts in your mind, and then once you're in it, you realize, wow, there's a lot of different things than I had originally thought. Tell us some of the, I don't know, top 2 or 3 things that going in you had no idea you would see once you're in it. You follow what I'm saying?
Totally, yeah. I was surprised at, and this sounds silly to say, but the pilot we shot in a real hospital that we sort of dressed to be this, you know, fake hospital in Oregon. But then they built a real scale hospital on a soundstage here at the Universal lot, and it
looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
I don't know how they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's a lot of effort for what is ultimately a kind of mundane and boring workplace, but that's what makes it special, is that they nail all the little signs on the door and all of the little tiny details, you know, that you know, make a hospital. So that was surprising.
Ooh, you know what? What was surprising is, you know how you see those blooper reels?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, when you see like The Office and they see the blooper reels or Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
We're sometimes the blooper reels.
Yeah, it's nice to be in a blooper reel.
Yeah.
It's fun. As it's happening live, you're like, oh my God, we're messing up the scene right now. This is great. I do. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Monday nights, 8 o'clock on NBC. Dr. Dennis or St. Dennis Medical. You guys sound great. You're selling it for us here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Anything else you want to mention before we let you go?
We're really cute on the show.
We're cute on the show. Tune in. You know, season 2, we got lots of great guest stars. Draymond Green was on this season. That's pretty cool. We've got an exciting finale.
Yeah.
And watch the second to last episode. There's maybe some explosive turns in our characters' friendship relationship. Who's to say? I don't know details.
Okay.
There's an explosion. I want to promise there's going to be an explosion on the show. CGI was very expensive. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to watch in spite of having Draymond Green on the show, because in Memphis, the Grizzlies, we don't like Draymond Green all that much, but we like you. And so
listen, he gets struck by lightning. You guys may enjoy that. You may enjoy struck by lightning in the show.
Hey, don't give away the farm. That's okay. But listen, that's good. You sold it. You made up for it. All right, well, listen, Kayun and McKee, we really appreciate you on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Good luck. Congratulations on the 3rd season, and we'll look for you on TV. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Those guys rock. I love it. All right, another live look from our i5 camera downtown Memphis, where it is a comfortable 73 degrees, 1029. We're back in 1 minute on Action News 5's Digital Desk with your forecast.
Thanks for joining us here on the Action News 5 Digital Desk. I'm First Alert meteorologist Patrick Ellis. On this super 7-day forecast featuring a high on your Wednesday of 80 degrees. If you're a fan of warmer weather, you'll definitely enjoy today. But I do need to let you know we've got some opportunities for rain and storms coming back into the forecast. Latest SPC outlook is still highlighting a marginal level 1 out of 5 risk. It's the lowest end risk across parts of the Mid-South, not the entire Mid-South, mainly for northeastern Arkansas, southern Missouri, northwestern Tennessee. But there could be a few showers and storms that are able to develop as we go into the afternoon hours out ahead of the main line. That will not cross the area, but it at least approaches the area. So a few spotty showers developing for the afternoon and evening commute. Afternoon temperatures upper 70s and lower 80s here through the afternoon hours of your Wednesday. Now, there could be a few storms that get a little bit more active right around sunset. You know, anecdotally, I've always said, you know, the hour or two around sunset and sunrise, we have a tendency to have a perk up in activity. So it wouldn't be surprising to see that again here this evening across parts of North Mississippi and West Tennessee. Midnight, couple showers. Most of the shower and thunderstorm activity in the severe mode would be out to the west of us, but it will start to ease in our direction through the morning hours on Thursday. Now, it does not, again, work its way all the way through the Action News 5 coverage area. The vast majority of the shower and thunderstorm activity stays in northeastern Arkansas, northwest Tennessee, and into southern Missouri, even into the morning hours on Thursday. The frontal boundary gets pushed back to the north, and it opens us back up to a very warm day heading into your Friday. We're talking high temperatures that will likely top out near record territory heading into your Friday afternoon. Temperatures in the record territory in the upper 70s and low 80s. We'll do that pretty much for everybody heading into Friday afternoon. Let's step forward because there are opportunities for more unsettled weather to come in our direction for the upcoming weekend. We'll time it out with our First Alert Futurecast for Saturday as a frontal boundary approaches the area. The same front that brings us the opportunities for a few showers and storms here today that gets pushed back. Well, guess what? It gets a shove eastward, and that'll bring us more opportunities for rain across the Mid-South as we head into Saturday, Saturday evening, Saturday night into early Sunday. The front sluggishly works its way down towards the south and east. And yes, with it, heavy rain, maybe a few strong storms, not completely off of the table as this line moves on through. Now, that front will stall out, keeps the weather with some at least scattered showers during the overnight period of your Saturday going into your Sunday, where we will also spring forward at the very same time. As you'll notice here, our First Alert Futurecast showing the rain showers still hovering around the area near and south of I-40 through the morning hours on Sunday here. There is a good opportunity for us to see above average rainfall in that extended forecast here. And when you look at the 10 days ahead, yes, that front will fade away and we'll do the kind of the similar situation, more spotty opportunities for some showers and storms developing with highs in the upper 70s and lower 80s going Monday and Tuesday. The next best opportunity for rain and storms moves in here by Wednesday of next week. That will be another strong cold front pushing through the area. Behind said cold front, we'll see a drop in temperatures. This may be our best chances as of right now because of the transition from very warm temperatures to more marginally seasonable temperatures. Where we can see some stronger storms across the board. So we'll be watching that time frame closely. Also, very heavy rainfall that will likely come along with it as well. Between now and probably this 10-day forecast, we'll probably see between 2 to 4 inches of rainfall, which is much needed. Okay, we do need the rainfall, but in one fell swoop, it's going to be a problem if we end up with a couple pockets here where we get some heavy rain. 1 to 2 inches of rainfall with this system here, an additional 1 to 2 inches with this system coming in here by the time we head towards the mid portion next week. And yes, behind that system, we'll get back closer to average for this time of the year heading into the mid portion of the month.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Regional One Hospital is hosting its annual Trauma and Burn Conference later this month. And so there's going to be people from all over to be a part of this event that's happening in Memphis at the Memphis Hilton. Joining me now to talk more about it, I'm joined by Lane Oxner. He's part of Regional One Health, and he is a trauma burn outreach educator. So tell me more about this annual event, Lane. Good morning.
Good morning. So our annual Trauma and Burn Conference is an educational opportunity for EMS, nurses, PAs, physician assistants, medical doctors, surgeons in the entire Mid-South region to come together and be able to learn, spend a whole day for trauma and burn education. Our layout is we do 30-minute increment presentations throughout the day. We start around 8 a.m. and end around 4 p.m. And we are able to cover lots of different educational topics that will help these people go back to their smaller communities and be able to provide the accurate and good trauma and burn care to help those patients out.
Okay, and so this is March 26th at the Memphis Hilton. And how many agencies and various affiliations are coming in? Is it a wide swath, and is it outside our region, nationally or regionally?
Absolutely. So we estimate we'll have approximately 300 attendees this year, which is growing from last year. This is our third annual conference, so we're just getting back started with Regional One Health hosting this event. Last year we had 250 register with around 215 attendees show up at the door and check in. This year our goal is to hit 300, which would be amazing. The thing is with this conference is it's a conference that's mostly Mid-South people, people coming from Mississippi, Arkansas, and Tennessee to come and get the education. But we have people that travel from further states, especially up in the northern states. It really just depends. Last year we had someone that traveled from Minnesota just because they were like, I heard it was a great educational opportunity, lots of great speakers. They said it was very organized and professional. They said, and so I wanted to come and check it out, which is fantastic. And that's our goal. It is at the Hilton Memphis. It is just one day on March 26th. And then it's amazing. Our keynote speaker that afternoon at 3:30 will be Dr. Dustin Smoot, all the way from South Dakota. He is a trauma surgeon out there, and he'll be there to kind of tell his story as a trauma surgeon, but also tell his side of the story because he was a patient at one time and how it's kind of changed his care and view on trauma care.
Is this just open to EMTs? Is it open to others out there, or just the general public? How does it work?
So technically it is open to the general public. I will say that it targets mostly anyone in the healthcare field on the emergency side or surgeon side. So anyone in the EMS community, EMTs, paramedics, firefighters, anyone like that. We do have some police officers that have attended in the past, and it's great education for them to know for pre-hospital and on-scene safety. And then it obviously targets trauma surgeons or general surgeons. It will also target any type of nurses that work in trauma care, burn care, emergency care, and then the nurse practitioners, physician's assistants, any of those advanced practice practitioners that are taking care of these patients. It's a great opportunity for them. A lot of the rural hospitals in the surrounding states, sometimes those emergency departments are only staffed by those advanced practitioners like a nurse practitioner or physician's assistant. So this is a great opportunity for them to come in and get great education on how to take care of lots of different types of injuries. That way, when they go back to their community, they have that extra knowledge of those specific type of cases of trauma and burn patients that they don't deal with every day.
You know, it sounds like a great event. I mean, it sounds wonderful. I mean, 300 people attending. And you're talking about like the latest and most innovative ways to treat these kind of patients, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Some of our topics, we have neurosurgery that's going to come and talk about brain injuries. We have the orthopedic surgeons that are going to talk about some of our long bone fractures with like your femur or your upper arm. Then we have vascular surgeons that are going to speak on vascular injuries. Some of our burn surgeons and burn physicians from the burn center are going to speak about inhalation injuries, as well as the technology that has advanced to take care of burn care and different skin transplants and stuff like that. Then we have some different trauma surgeons and general surgeons that will speak. different trauma surgeons from Arkansas as well will come and speak and kind of give us an update on the Arkansas trauma care and what they do to keep their system running as well.
Fantastic. Anything else, Lane, we can touch on before we let you go?
No, I think it's a great opportunity. If anyone's interested, you can always reach out to anyone at Regional One. Most people know about the event or how to get a hold of our team. We would love to have anyone in the healthcare field be a part. Thank you.
Okay, March 26th at the Memphis Hilton, a great event there. The Trauma and Burn Conference that's happening for one day there later this month. Lane, thanks for breaking it down for us. Congratulations on all the attendees that are signed up to be a part of this, and it's growing bigger and better each and every year. We appreciate the details this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, nearly half of all adults in the U.S. have hypertension. We already know that heart disease is the #1 killer, #1 for all adults, men and women. The good news is heart disease, cardiovascular disease, it's preventable through various things: lifestyle changes, exercise, nutrition, stress management, and community. Joining me now on the Action News 5 Digital Desk, I'm joined by Dalton Mabry. He's a certified personal trainer at Lifetime Fitness in Collierville to talk about heart health and what we can do not only inside the gym, but outside the gym. So, Dalton, where do you want to begin? Because heart disease is such a problem across the country, and of course here in the Mid-South. I guess some people might feel intimidated about going to the gym sometimes if they haven't been in a while. Where do you recommend people begin with all of this? Good morning.
Good morning. Pleasure to be here. There's a few ways that you could begin on this journey to reduce hypertension or to prevent yourself from attaining this. Now, of course, with exercise, you could get involved in some form of aerobic activity. All you really need is at least 20 minutes a day, just moving around a bit. You could be going outside to the park and walk around. If you're a member at Lifetime, you can participate in some of our Alpha GTX conditioning classes. When it comes to nutrition, there's a few things you can do as well there that are pretty simple, increasing hydration, increasing your fiber intake. You could use oats for that, or spongy fruits like apples and pears. And there are fiber supplements you can take as well, like psyllium husk, or Lifetime branded. We have Shift that we use here that's been able to help a lot of people, regulate their bodies.
I love it. And those are all excellent ideas. But sometimes, if someone's watching out there, and we have thousands who watch Dalton each and every morning, they might say, well, gosh, I don't know where to begin. I haven't been to a gym in years. I don't know what to do. What do you tell those people that feel like this is really intimidating for them and they don't know, I guess you could say, they don't know the ABCs about nutrition or health? They want to look better, feel younger, have more energy, but they don't know where to begin.
Well, there's a lot of ways you could go about that. If you were to talk with myself or one of our other expert trainers here, we'd be able to give you a guide, perhaps a programmable way to pursue getting better in your health, pursuing that aerobic activity, getting involved in weight training, which is beneficial as well. Now, of course, there's another way to get involved, whether in the gym or out of the gym, and that's with building a community. Being around people, like-minded people, whether it be your family or your friends or with your coach. Those are going to be ways that are going to improve your success getting involved in the gym. It takes a little bit of that fear away when you got somebody else who's got the same goals as you.
That, no question about it. I think the last time we talked, Dalton, I always thought that, especially for me, when I have a partner that I'm working out with, they hold you accountable. Even those days where you don't want to go to the gym, they're like, hey, I'm already here, let's go. And I like what you said, just 20 minutes a day moving around, doing something is beneficial. And so let's talk about some of the other aspects. I know sleep's a big deal when it comes to just becoming healthier, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Typically, you'd want to get at least 7 hours of sleep. 7 to 9 is best for most people. If you're getting less than that, you're putting yourself at risk of high blood pressure, weight gain, or general inflammation. Now, all of those things are mitigated by good sleep, good quality sleep.
Let's do a little bit more on the diet, because I think sometimes, sometimes people get lost in that, or they have a cheat day and they're not really sure what's good, what's not. It may say nutritious, but in actuality, it's not, right?
Yeah, there's a few things you want to avoid, trans fat and such, things that are processed. If your food's in a bag or in a box, you may want to, get away from that and spend more time eating some whole foods, lean meats like fish and chicken, increasing your healthy fats with avocado and, salmon, for example, is a great fatty fish. That's really good for that as well. Increasing your grains, your whole grains, oatmeal. I advocate oatmeal.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of oatmeal myself. Stress management. A lot of us are under a lot of pressure, stress. What about that?
Yeah, well, a good thing about mitigating the stress is that a lot of that changes whenever you do increase your physical activity or improve your nutrition, get enough sleep. If you're working on those 3 key elements, then that's what's going to help reduce that cortisol and reduce that stress. That's going to help you long term.
Yeah, good advice there. Anything else we want to touch on before we let you go? This has been good.
I just want to say, there's a lot of avenues and there's a bit of nuance when it comes to, getting in the gym or getting involved with some form of nutritional changes. But just take it one step at a time. You don't have to change everything. You could start by adding a little bit of healthy fat, a little bit of olive oil in your food, or maybe adding a fruit and a veggie to all of your meals. And then you just build upon that, maybe getting in the gym once a week, doing some form of resistance or weight training. You go from there, and it's going to snowball into a lifestyle change.
I like that. Just a few consistent habits, and then you're able to set the foundation and then grow from there. Appreciate that. All right, Dalton Mabry, certified personal trainer at Lifetime Fitness in Collierville. We appreciate your time on the digital desk. Great advice there for anyone trying to improve their heart health. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Loneliness and veterans' suicidal thoughts, well, they are on the increase. According to the Wounded Warrior Project's latest warrior survey, more than 1 in 4 wounded warriors, had suicidal thoughts within the past 12 months. Research shows that strong social ties not only improve quality of life, but also serve as a critical protective factor against these kinds of things. How is mental health among our veterans? It's so important to check up on them. Joining me on the Action News 5 Digital Desk, I'm going to talk more about this topic with a couple of people. I have Jacob Narowski. He's an Army veteran. He's a warrior there. I also am joined by Lindsay Tekat. She's a mental and brain health services director for the Wounded Warrior Project. Thank you for both of you joining us here on the Digital Desk. Jacob, I want to begin with you. Tell us about your mental journey. Good morning.
Good morning. You know, my mental journey really is, it's long. It's years. It's over 14 years spent hanging out the side of a Black Hawk helicopter in austere places all over the world, and seeing and experiencing things that most of us never even dream of. And then coming home, and you come home and those experiences become memories, become stories that come home with you. And so trying to find my place in the world here as a dad, as a husband, as a community member is difficult when you're still kind of holding on to or carrying those memories that come with you. And so it's been so important for me on this journey that people have found me, friends that have kind of carried me through those moments and given me the opportunity to carry them, and just to begin to build a life of connection over this journey.
Well, first off, I appreciate everything that you and your family have done for this country, what you've sacrificed, because there's so many veterans that sacrifice so much to defend what this country stands for overseas. How important was human connection to your overall recovery, Jacob?
Human connection for me, and like for so many other veterans, is absolutely vital. There has to be somebody that tells you when the demons are lying, as I sometimes say. You have to have people around you that can remind you of your worth, remind you that you're important, that you still have a mission, that there's still more for you to do. And so for me, having those brothers and sisters nearby and having those check-ins has just been absolutely vital. And then learning that I can be the one checking on them as well.
Lindsay, I want to thank you, Jacob. Lindsay, I want to talk with you. And listen, Wounded Warrior Project is such an amazing organization, and thank you for all that you do for all the veterans out there. You work specifically in the mental and brain health services. Tell me, when it comes to the biggest challenges that veterans face, what are some of those big challenges out there?
Yeah, great question. So if you take when somebody's transitioning back into civilian life and you look at some of those challenges, you have a situation where somebody was in a very structured environment. They had a support system built in of folks that were like-minded, that they can relate to and are doing the same things. And they had a clear sense of mission and purpose. And then that disappears. They then start to transition out. They lose that sense of purpose. They lose that sense of mission while they're trying to navigate, where are my benefits? What is my family dynamics, my financial situation? What's going to be my next job? And that can be a very overwhelming time for a veteran. And they may also be experiencing, symptoms of PTSD on top of that. And so having connection during that time is going to be so critical. Having that support system of like-minded individuals that might be going through it with you, or that have already went through it and can help shepherd, or as Jake said, be the one carrying you. You mentioned our survey. Our survey showed that for wounded warriors who had listed isolation or that lack of connection as a symptom that they were experiencing, they were 3 times more likely to have had suicidal thoughts in the past 12 months. So connection is key.
No question about it. Jake, I really appreciate you opening up, telling your story to help others. Lindsay, quickly, where can, if perhaps one of our viewers has a family member who's struggling right now, where can they go for help?
I think it's great that you mentioned family member, right? You do not have to be a mental health expert to help somebody who's struggling or to help yourself if you're struggling. I'd recommend going to woundedwarriorproject.org. We're there to support. We stand by ready to connect you to programs, connect you to services, and help build that foundation of connection.
All right, Jacob and Lindsay, we appreciate your time here on the Digital Desk. God bless you both, and thank you for your time. All right, that does it for us here in the Action News 5 Digital Desk. Have yourself a wonderful afternoon. We got Action News 5 Midday coming up at the top of the hour with Jerry Askin. He'll take you through all the news stories and get an update on your forecast. And then join me again tomorrow morning, a Friday edition of the Action News 5 Digital Desk. We start at 9 o'clock here on Digital Channel 5.3, the Mid-South Sports and Entertainment Network. It's also Channel 907 on Xfinity. We'll see you then.